Hello there, Facebook. I hope you guys are doing well this evening. This is Anita Gibson, coach, speaker, and educational strategist. And I am here tonight to talk about the thing that irritates you. Could that be a key to your child's future? I know this sounds like, what are you talking about? Well, let me tell you a story about myself, and then I'll explain. Actually, hold on a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I'm coming. Okay, here I am. I'm back. All right, so this is a story. When I was little, my father was in the Air Force, and we traveled a number of places in the world. And usually wherever we went, we were in the minority. Because when my father joined the Air Force, he was one of the first African Americans to be enlisted into the Air Force. And so it was a great privilege. And so we traveled to places like the Philippines and Okinawa and Omaha, Nebraska. We lived in Maine. We lived in Pennsylvania. We lived a number of places. I was born in Texas. And so I was a pretty precocious child. I asked questions all the time. And my parents were, like, she is so strange. Who thinks about those kinds of things? But I was constantly asking questions. And I just needed to know the answer, to questions to make sense to my world. I didn't understand that then when I was a little girl, but now I do now as an adult. So I would ask these questions, and my parents may have been like the only black people in a group of people, and I might have been. I remember one time my mom says we were sitting on the beach, and all her Caucasian friends are putting on the suntan, lotion, and I pointed to my mother. I said, I want some of that. Can I get some on my skin? And so I walked over to one of her friends and I said, can I have some? And my mother was trying to tell me, well, you don't really need that. Your skin is brown, and so it kind of protects you from the sun. And I didn't understand any of that. And so I realize now, as an adult, that I probably put my parents in some pretty awkward situations with some of the questions that I asked. And sometimes my parents were just like, could you go sit in a corner somewhere and just be quiet? And that hurt my feelings so much because I wasn't trying to, be a problem. I just wanted to know. So as an adult, I found out that one of my strengths is I am a strategic thinker. So I'm always thinking through what can work and why that didn't work and what is that over there, and tell me more about it. And okay, then we can do it like this. Even when you don't ask, I'm coming up with those things in my head. And I was doing that as a child. Really frustrating for my parents at times because, sometimes it was just too much. But now, as an adult, a lot of what I do, my coaching, some of the businesses that I own, some of the things that I'm doing, the key to my success is my ability to be strategic. That means I can look at it, I can ask the right questions that help me get from A to Z. Now, just imagine if the thing that irritates you the most about your child is actually a key to their future. What if you have a child who's going around the house breaking stuff up all the time, who actually is an engineer and needs to understand how things work? And so he's not actually trying to break it. He's actually trying to understand it. And so he's looking at, how does that work? And accidentally, broke that piece off. Well, when you find a child like that, a lot of times you're saying, Johnny, he's always breaking up stuff. And so another way to look at it is maybe you take Johnny to the thrift store and you get him some gadgets that he's interested in, that he can break up and open up and re-engineer, put them back together. And you give him those things in a place that's just for him, so that he can stop breaking your stuff up and he can begin to satisfy that need that he has to know how things work. You see what I'm getting at? Sometimes the very thing that irritates you is a key to your child's future. That child that talks all the time, God may plan for them to be a speaker or a pastor. That child that's always beating on stuff, is always tapping on the table and humming, and they may have gifts in singing and music or the arts. So they're always dancing and twirling, and showing their dressing up and wanting you to watch them do things. And sometimes that gets so irritating. But really, it could be an indicator of some giftings that God has given. So I just want to remind you that the thing that you think might not be important might actually be very important. When we think about those third grade boys that they build the prisons for, just imagine the third grade boys that they check their reading scores, and those who aren't reading well, they build the prisons for. Yeah, those boys. Just imagine if someone would begin to help them to find out what their gifts truly are. The potential in our children is vast. Do you know that a student who does not graduate from high school makes $650,000 less than someone with a high school diploma? Did you know that 80% of the males that are in jail, or just people in jail, 80% are high school dropouts? Did you know that our society is expending so much energy on, once it's done, then going back? Hey, Tasha, good to see you. They're spending so much energy on what's happening when the kids are already through the system rather than helping them on the other hand. And guess what? At the beginning, and we do that too as parents, sometimes we're trying to fix things on the one end, but we really can start here at the beginning. And if you haven't had that opportunity to start with your child, to understand the beauty of your child, to not put them in a box, to actually accept and receive them the way God made them, the way we had to learn with Danielle, like I talked about yesterday, you will be able to just shut off so much foolishness. You will be able to shut off so much low self-esteem. There will be so many amazing things that you'll be able to do with your child when you use the strategies that I've been talking about. And so the next time that child says something to you and they're asking you questions and you are so tempted to tell them to shut up and go sit down, I challenge you to ask them more. I challenge you to encourage them to share their heart. Because guess what? They're going to share their heart with someone. We don't have to wait for the school to fix everything, because they can't. We as the parent, we see things about our children. We can make a difference. We can have impact. We have to understand how powerful we are. We have to understand the impact that we can have. We have to know that we can make a difference. And so if your child is not getting what they need to get at school, and maybe you can't homeschool or you can't put them in a private school situation, help and hope are here. There are solutions for you to help that child. Sometimes it's about us being able to see the beauty of our child. Like with Danielle last night, I talked about not understanding the fact that she did things at a slower pace was about the gift of depth, of her having the ability to see more deeply into a thing, to analyze it, and then to come out with a solution. There's beauty in our children sometimes we miss because we are used to putting them in a box. We compare them to the way we grew up and what we were doing then. We compare them to what their siblings are doing or what other children are doing around them. God created them, though, as individuals. There's only one. And so we have to figure out what is going to work for that child. We have to honor the way God made them. And even if they're struggling, we have to be willing to take responsibility to help to fix it. Listen, our son, when he was about 2, was a pathological liar. I kid you not. I don't know why he lied at 2. But when you asked him a question, he didn't even think about it. He just started lying. And so we were like, and he was charming. All the ladies in the neighborhood, they knew his name. Hey, Ricky, how are you? And he was smooth and he was a calm baby and he smiled. And we were like, oh my goodness, this 2-year-older, he has all this charm and he's a pathological liar. We gonna have a problem when he grows up if we don't do something about it right now. And so my husband and I got together and we put a plan together for that boy. And we sat him down and we said, Ricky, listen, you have a struggle with lying. You know it and we know it. But guess what? We're going to help you with that. Because guess what? Mommy and daddy have struggles too. And so we're going to give you a 5-second rule. When we ask you a question, we're going to give you 5 seconds to think about the answer. You are so used to telling the lie that you don't give your brain a chance to speak truth. And so we're going to help you. And so when I would ask him a question about something and he would get ready to speak. I say, don't say anything yet. Think about it. Think about what you want to say. All right. Now I'm going to give you a chance. I want you to speak the truth, because even if you did something wrong, if you tell me the truth, the consequences will not be great. However, if you lie, it's not going to be a good day. And so I'm giving you the opportunity to think through what you want to say, what your answer is to the question Mommy just asked you. And over time, he began to change that lying. And actually, as an adult, he actually hates lying now. It really irritates him when people do that. But we saw at 2 something that needed to be changed. And as his parents, we took authority over it. We took power over it. We decided, no, that's not going to be who you are. And so when your child is struggling in an area, they may be gifted in areas they are, and they're struggling in other areas. When they're struggling, you speak to them what God says about them. So instead of saying, Ricky, you're a liar, we're saying, no, that lying, that doesn't match to who God says you are. You are a man who has integrity and you are learning to speak truth. That is who you are. So when you spoke that doesn't match up to who we know you are to be. So let's try it again. And as you continue to speak what you see God wanting your child to be, they will begin to believe you. You got to believe it. And so I'm telling you, it works. Speak to them what you see God wanting them to be. And you will have great impact on your child. So that thing that's irritating you, whatever it is, we thought, man, when he was lying, we thought, man, he's going to probably be a lawyer or something. And so you just never know. Even the bad stuff may be indicators of future. So I'm saying to you guys tonight, you are champions. You are advocates for your children. No one loves them like you do. You have the power to make the difference. Whatever's going on right now, if you don't like it, you can change it. And so I want to encourage you. If you have questions or, you're thinking through some things and you're like, well, what about this or what about that? Please inbox me. I would love to talk with you and to see if I can just give you some suggestions. Look, we're all in this together, right? So my name is Anita Gibson, coach, speaker, and educational strategist. If you are looking for a small hands-on learning experience and you're in the Maryland area, you can check out pxlacademy.org. And you can attend our open house on April 12th, next Wednesday, from 6 to 6:30. And then check out the showcase where our students will come and show you all the different kinds of things that they're learning from 6:30 to 8:30. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for the shares. I really do appreciate that. And if you have any questions, or if you have any thoughts, or if you have any subjects that you want me to talk about, or any questions, even inbox me, and I'll do I have this challenge I'm on. So today is day 10, but I still have 20 more days to go. So if you have a question or a concern or a thought that you want me to do a video on, let me know, and I would love to do that. All right, guys, love you. Good night.